Okay, it's the end of the first week in June, and we're going to look at the main garden here. So we'll start around the outside and work our way in. And I did do some planting last Tuesday, today's Sunday, so 5 days ago. It's amazing how fast things pop up this time of year. So right here in the end, I planted a few marigolds. You can just see them popping up right there and there, and those are supposed to help ward off some bugs that like tomatoes. So planted some within the tomato, so hopefully that'll help them. So our tomatoes are getting taller and bigger here. The first 4 tomatoes, and then a pepper, 4 more tomatoes, cucumber, and then we go around to the squashes. So they are getting bigger. Lots of flowers on the tomatoes all over the place. Haven't seen any fruit develop yet, but all of them have spit out flowers now. There's 4 different varieties right here. The Roma, Early Girl, Health Kick, and 4th of July. And the Roma and the Health Kick are paste tomatoes, and our Bush and the other 2 are vining. So I bought some ties, and now I need to get these guys going up our fence here instead of leaning out here. So yeah, but they're looking great, no problems, and lots of flowers. Pepper plant there looks good. Once again, the tomatoes, yeah, I really got to get them up against the fence there, keep them in line because they're starting to get a little crazy, but looking good. Cucumber, yeah, I've had another vine die off, but the ones that are here are looking good. They put up some tendrils, and I helped them to find the fence here. So, and there's some little flowers, tiny little flowers there, a little yellow flower. So hopefully they'll get their stuff together and start producing some fruit here. So each one of these had 3 vines originally. There's 2 left on here. The 3rd one died, and this 3rd one here had opened up and has now died as well. And it looks like those ones aren't too healthy either. I don't know exactly what that is, but they kind of look like that. The vine gets weak. You can see that open up, and it just opens up and then falls off. So I don't know what it is, but hopefully if we at least have 1 survivor from each planting here, we'll get some cucumbers. And there's our little marigolds from the time we planted a few weeks ago popping up. Here's our banana squash. It's got its little tendrils going, and I have helped it to find the fence as well. And so it's got a few things, and it's grabbing on for dear life, and so hopefully it's going to start to climb here. And it has right there some fruit forming right there. And over there's another one. So already put out flowers and started to form some fruit, which is great. The zucchini, I think last week when I shot the video, it had 1 or 2 flowers. Now it's got about 4 fruit going on here. This one is the best one to see right here, sticking out. It's about 3 inches or so. It's got a little fruit on little flower on the end there. So there's one there, and then another one there, and then another one over there, and then another one there. So there's a bunch of them. And what we're going to do is try to prune them once they start going up here, prune them off so that we can fit them in this smaller space. Saw some videos about it, so I'm going to give it a shot and see how it goes so that we can not let it take over everything. Then we go around the corner here. We'll do a quick pan up there. But this is our summer, winter melon, summer, winter melon, summer, winter melon. All each of these 3 boxes. So this one here is the sunburst squash, and you can definitely tell what it is. I wasn't sure before, but now you can totally see because right there's a fruit. And there's another fruit, another squash, one there, one there. So they are starting to form. And yeah, it won't be long before we'll be eating some of those too. So they have these ginormous flowers, and then that's the female flower, and then that's going to turn into the fruit there. There you can see one that's immature, hasn't opened yet, and one that's already been fertilized and starting to form. So I'll have to look at them and see when to pick them exactly. I've never actually eaten them before, but looking forward to eating them, especially from my garden. So then this one's one of our winter squash. I can't remember which one. It does have some tendrils here. I've helped it to kind of find the fence. It's getting big. Got some leaves on the bottom are bad, but the stems are good shape. None of that problem with the others. So Looks like it'll be good. Big, huge leaves, which is great. And then our honeydew here has open flowers today. I just saw that when I was walking around, and there's 3 of them right there opening up that are already open, and more that are going to be opening. And so it has tendrils as well, and so I just have to help it, when it gets long enough, find the fence there so it can go on its own. So looking good. Looks like there's 3 different vines there, so we'll have to sort that out, how to grow them all there. But looking good. Our next summer squash, I think it's going to be the yellow crookneck. I think that's the other 2 varieties. So lots of leaves, lots of a couple flowers starting to form. Looks like this one had already opened and closed. So that might have been the male. Hopefully we'll see some female flowers. There's lots of little buds down there. Hopefully that'll come up pretty soon. But here's that vine issue. You can see that there. It's open. It's like an open canker, and probably this one's going to fall off by next week. So I don't know exactly what that is. If that's just the plant thinning itself out, or something going on. But it's happening here too. Squash in the middle looks good. Big leaves, no issues, and yeah, not much more to say about this. I think this might be the acorn squash because it looks a little bit different than the other 2 squashes there, because there was 2 butternut and 1 acorn, so I bet this is it. Our volunteer potato here has decided to come up, and so I've decided to water him. We'll see how he turns out. Here's one of our watermelons. They have the nice little tendrils to help keep them up there. I put them up there earlier in the week, and so they've shown up. You can also see there, though, that problem with the vine causing an issue. So I don't know, you can barely see it there, but it's open a little bit. So I don't know what's going to happen, but I'll have to look into that. Our next summer squash, got some flowers there, getting ready to open. Haven't opened any up yet. Other than that, looks good. Nice big leaves. Then our winter squash has some buds as well, and then the other melon, same thing, growing up, no flowers or anything. So here is our last segment of the fence part with our zucchini, pumpkin, and then 4 tomatoes of pepper, and then 5 different peppers or tomatoes. So here's this zucchini on this side actually hasn't produced any fruit yet. It's had a lot of flowers open, and oh yes, that's wrong. There's one right there. So just not as many. So it's a little bit later to the party, but there's a second one starting to form. So it's a few days or so behind, but it's there. So looking good. The pumpkin here got some nice tendrils. I'm trying to help it find the fence here, but it's got the same problem with the stems. You can see it right there. So this stem is opening up. You can see how it's lighter there. You can see it better over here if you can see it on the camera. Right there, open up. That one looks great. The other 2 don't look so hot, and I don't know exactly what's going on, but it's got flowers, and at least it's got 1 healthy stem, so we'll see. These tomatoes look just as good as the ones over there. Big growth, getting to be 2.5 feet tall now. Flowers on everything, so shouldn't be long till we hopefully see some fruit there. And then with our main boxes, everything is looking better. So we planted a potato in there last week, and then over here planted some more stuff. Actually, you can see things popping up right there. So we planted some basil and some cilantro and some soybeans and some carrots all over in here. So I can see that. I believe this is the basil popping up here. Just barely see it. Yep, those little leaves right there. So that's them. I think the carrots were here. I'll have to look at my grid. But anyway, stuff growing in here is coming up. Onions look good. The red chard is looking fantastic. Really starting to fill out. Hopefully be able to start eating it soon. Have to look at that maturity. Carrot tops here popping up, looking great. Here's our soybeans, and they are looking good, popping up in a big way here. There's one there, and then I think, oh, here's another one, here's another one. So yeah, planted a bunch right in here. There they are. Yeah, fantastic. See what happens when you plant things right. Because I planted them the first time over there and soaked them when I wasn't supposed to, and they didn't come up. So also what I planted this week was this row of corn here, 2 rows. And it looks like almost all of them have popped up already. Just planted them 5 days ago, but it's been super warm and sunny, and so they are all up an inch or so. There's a couple of them that haven't popped up, but all the rest have. So fantastic. And then on the main box here, planted this row that had the aborted soybeans, the ones that didn't work. I planted some more snap, or not peas, what did I plant? I planted the pole beans. So these here should be popping up with pole beans anytime now. So put another row here, so that way we can put the trellis in the middle and have them grow up, and we'll see. The cauliflower, I finally figured out that what the culprit was there. It was this green little caterpillar. So I took it off, but it was too late for the plant, so I'm going to have to pull it up and put something else in there. Everything else is looking pretty good. Broccoli, unfortunately, this one and that one are all flowering. So there's nothing to do but harvest the leaves and pull it up, plant something else. Our okra has come a long way. Still some aphids on them, but we've been working just to squish them. And the plant have probably, looks like it's almost doubled in size since last week. So it's finally catching up and putting out some monster leaves, which is great. The eggplants all look good. We had some flowers, but haven't had any fruit to start to form yet. The cauliflowers, these two, the ones that survived, are huge. Actually a little too huge. I'm going to have to trim them back because they're starting to shade the other plants. Especially when they're not really producing anything, because if you look down all the way in here, see that, where's it at? Somewhere in there is a tiny, tiny little head. You can't even see it. So they say that happens when it's too hot. So just going to harvest the leaves and try again in the fall or next spring when it's cooler. So everything else looks good. We've had some, that okra has also rebounded, so been fantastic. Been a great warm week. And that's pretty much it for the main garden. We do have, I planted the potatoes a few days ago. So all these little sticks in the ground there represent one. You can actually see them popping up there, because they all had nice, well-developed eyes. So there's one popping up there. Some over here. I just planted an old potato that I had in the garage. Didn't get any seed potatoes, just used ones from the grocery store that were old and had tons and tons of eyes. Some of them had eyes 4 inches long. So I figured, what the heck, I'll just cut them up, throw them in here, and see what happens. So there's ones there. You can see the stalks popping up there. So I'm going to come along and put a little more dirt on it and see about extending the roots there, get more tubers. But I did plant them all over here, as well as over in up against the house with that. So that's exciting. The garlic, I harvested some of it today. I'm probably going to harvest the rest of it later, because all the leaves, they're not completely yellow, but they're very yellow here, tips on there. I took the scapes off. That was the skinny part that comes on the top, little with the loop-de-loop and a little bulb on the end. I harvested all those last week and made a little garlic scape pesto, which was very fiery, but pretty good. And I'll harvest probably just the rest of the garlic now, because I did pull some up, and as you can see, the wrapper on the outside starting to come off. So they say that's the indicator there. Once you don't want that to come off. So anyway, we'll have some tiny garlic. Some of them are really tiny. Some of them will be bigger, like these guys. So we'll definitely see how that comes out. And all right, I guess that's it for the garden for this week. See you next week.